Early knockout, or are you just gonna let it come naturally?
I'm gonna let it come naturally. You know, again, with a power puncher, you can't just force things. You can run into a good shot. So for me, I'm gonna, be on my top P's and Q's and handle.
Ryan Garcia and Romero kept things surprisingly calm during the press conference. But don't be fooled. They have even bigger plans in store for boxing fans.
Ryan Garcia would be an amazing fight, Me and Ryan sparred way back when, We sparred twice, and it's going to be...
Don't expect professionalism when two masters of trash talk collide. Ryan Garcia and Romero have brought pure intensity to boxing fans, fueled by an 8-year rivalry and a hunger for redemption. Both fighters are looking to bounce back from setbacks they faced early last year. For Ryan Garcia, a victory was quickly overshadowed by an unfortunate suspension from the sport.
Rush coming into this fight?
Now, for me, it's all about getting in the gym, timing and everything. I feel like I have enough time to get it back. Of course, a 1.5 year layoff sucks.
Now, Ryan Garcia is determined to change the story surrounding his career. He wants to prove he can secure a big win without any doubts about performance-enhancing substances. On top of that, he has his sights set on a rematch with longtime rival Devin Haney. All of this is fueling his drive for this fight. As for Romero, he also faced a major setback around this time last year when he failed to defend a title that many believe he won under controversial circumstances.
The thing with me and Ryan is I done ended that beef long ago. Because I'll tell you guys all something.
In his first title defense against Isaac Cruz, Romero suffered an 8th-round knockout loss. Although he later returned with a win over Manuel James, the victory didn't impress boxing fans. His opponent was unranked and had recently suffered a brutal loss to Abdullah Mason. Now, Romero is desperate for a statement win to regain credibility and prove himself with a standout performance. Meanwhile, Ryan Garcia is focused on showing that this is a fresh chapter in his career. As one of boxing's biggest stars, Garcia endured a roller coaster year in 2024.
While everyone over there bullying and slandering the mother was the only one that defended him. Throughout all the fucking bullshit. Who's the only...
Garcia was handed a 1-year suspension, but is now set to make his comeback on May 2nd in a highly anticipated showdown against Romero. The fight will headline a major boxing event at Times Square in New York City. Recently, Garcia spoke at the first press conference for the Fatal Fury event, making it clear that this time, he's all business. "I want to be great," Garcia stated. "I've always wanted to fight the best in the sport. As for my issues outside the ring, they've always been there. I don't know who else goes through things like that, but it's just something I've had to deal with."
That fight will sell out. I know that fight will sell out. That's one of those mega fights that me and Ryan. That's a fight I'm definitely interested.
"I want to show everyone that you can bounce back from anything," Garcia said. "I'm dedicated to this sport and ready to be a true professional. I admit my mistakes, and I don't want anyone to think that drinking and smoking before a fight is the way to go. I'm here to change that. This fight is my first step toward earning back respect and proving that my success wasn't a fluke. I'm ready to do it." Garcia's longtime rival, Devin Haney, is also set to fight on the same card, facing Jose Ramirez in the co-main event. Both fighters have openly admitted that if they win their respective bouts, a long-awaited rematch will happen later this year.
There's been a lot of back and forth between you and Ryan Garcia. What are your thoughts and what message would you send him right now, brother?
I have no thoughts about it.
Ryan Garcia is set to make his long-awaited return to the ring after serving a year-long suspension, and all eyes will be on him to deliver. Despite the controversy surrounding his last fight, Garcia hasn't competed since his bout against Devin Haney, where he shocked fans by knocking Haney down 3 times and winning by decision, only for the result to be overturned as a no contest due to a failed drug test. His fight week in April was filled with incidents that raised concerns about his mental state, including missing weight by a large margin and drinking beer during the final face-off. However, despite the chaos, Garcia put on a stunning performance, pulling off a major upset, only to have the victory stripped away due to his positive test for a banned substance.
He's not a boxer, so who gives a about him? Of course, thank you.
With Haney also fighting on this high-profile card, the stakes are even higher. The winner of Garcia versus Romero, especially if it's Garcia, will likely move on to face the victor of Haney versus Ramirez. A potential rematch between Garcia and Haney in Saudi Arabia this October would generate massive interest. Rolly Romero, a Las Vegas native, boasts an impressive 81% knockout rate. But the question remains, does he have the power to challenge Garcia as he moves up to a third weight class? At 29, Romero has lost 2 of his last 4 fights, suffering stoppage defeats to Isaac Cruz and Gervonta Davis. Meanwhile, 26-year-old Garcia, fighting out of Los Angeles, also fell to Davis 2 years ago, but remains known for his blistering speed and power. With both fighters eager to prove themselves, this showdown has the potential to steal the spotlight.
Trying to see where he was guiding me, and it just led me to Dallas, led me to Derek, and I pursued it, and I'm here now, and I feel good. I feel,
Ryan Garcia followed his path, trusting where it led him, and eventually landed in Dallas with Derek James as his trainer. Now, he feels confident and ready. It's unclear if other fighters were considered to step in for this bout, but the 140-pound division is packed with talent. Many fans would have preferred to see Garcia face a tougher opponent than Rolly Romero. Given that Romero was stopped by Isaac "Pitbull" Cruz in the 8th round on March 30th last year, this matchup isn't seen as a major challenge for Garcia. Romero, often criticized for his limited skill set, isn't viewed as a worthy main event fighter for Turki Alashika's May 2nd card, especially against a star like Garcia. However, he did manage to bounce back from his loss to Cruz by defeating Manuel James via a 10-round unanimous decision on September 14th, fighting on the undercard of Canelo Alvarez versus Edgar Berlanga.
Care about right now is Ryan Garcia. And then the winner between that and me and Ryan gets Gervonta Davis. We're going to do this all on pay-per-view, on Showtime pay-per-view. We're going to do this shit, all right? Like I said, at the end of it, I got the belt.
Rolly didn't perform well in that fight either, but he was up against a low-level opponent. Choosing Romero as Ryan Garcia's opponent for a DAZN pay-per-view main event is a questionable decision. While this may be a tune-up fight for Garcia, making it more understandable, it's still unfair to fans to have a fighter with a 2-2 record in his last 4 bouts as the B-side of a major PPV event. In reality, Romero's record should be 1-3 in his last 4 fights, as his controversial win over Ismael Barroso remains highly disputed. Referee Tony Weeks stopped the fight in the 9th round on May 13, 2023, in a decision that many felt was premature, leading to backlash from fans and boxing analysts.
I want to tell everybody, just thank you for coming out, and honestly,
Romero had thrown 4 punches, all missing wildly, when referee Tony Weeks suddenly waved off the fight. Barroso was unharmed, standing there in disbelief, looking at Weeks as if to say, "What are you doing?" Fans were stunned by the stoppage, and the decision sparked months of criticism. At the time of the stoppage, Romero was trailing on the scorecards and appeared to be on his way to losing the fight. Given the depth of talent in the top 15 rankings at 140 and 147 pounds, many other contenders would have been far more deserving of a fight against Ryan Garcia on May 2nd than Rolly Romero.
You did take more punches than you thought you would, so what went wrong during this fight? It's okay.
It seems like the priority was simply finding an available opponent, and Romero fit the bill. However, for a pay-per-view event, a better choice for the main event would have been Jose Ramirez facing Ryan Garcia, while Romero could have been placed in the co-main event against Haney. Even then, Romero wouldn't be an ideal opponent. But given that Haney is coming off a fight where he was dropped 3 times, he could use a softer matchup like Romero to regain momentum. That said, if the goal is to protect Garcia from any real risk ahead of his potential rematch with Haney in October, then Romero is the perfect choice.
It's like family, like it's a bond. So I'm hungry, man. That's why I'm here every day training. I didn't even know this was happening, but I came to train with Derek. And like I said, it's a blessing. Happy to be.
Ryan Garcia made it clear in a fiery tweet that he isn't underestimating Romero at all. He warned that he's coming into the fight with serious anger and apologized in advance that Romero would have to be the one to face it. "You can say all the dumb things you want at the press conference on Tuesday, but if you cross the line, I swear I'll slap the hell out of you," Garcia added. He didn't hold back, mocking Romero's past performances. "You're only here because you're entertaining. That's it. Don't change now." Grandpa had you fighting for your life, and Pitbull had you searching for Easter eggs in the ring. I'll make sure you leave your gloves in the ring like an MMA fighter retiring.
It's like it's family, like it's a bond. So I'm hungry, man. That's why I'm here every day training. I didn't even know this was happening, but I came to train with Derek. And like I said, it's a blessing. Happy.
Ryan Garcia faced Devin Haney in April 2024, scoring 3 knockdowns on his way to a decision victory. However, after testing positive for Ostarine, the result was changed to a no contest, and he was given a 1-year suspension, which ends on April 20th. Meanwhile, Rolando Romero has claimed that discussions about a fight between him and Garcia have been ongoing for 8 years. Now that the matchup is finally happening, both fighters have brought the intensity that fans were hoping for.
Last question. Final message to Ryan Garcia before y'all fight.
No Vaseline.
Rolando Romero kicked off the trash talk, and as expected, Ryan Garcia took it to another level. Romero is a fearless, aggressive fighter known for his heavy punches, which have earned him a solid fan base in recent years. However, he now faces a major challenge against boxing star Ryan Garcia. Speaking to Fight Hype, Romero shared his thoughts on the fight. "Yeah, man, with Ryan, it's long overdue, for sure. Honestly, it kind of came out of nowhere."
I'm asking you about this, right? We sparred in 2013, March 2013, right?
One day, Ryan was talking about fighting Isaac Cruz, and the next thing I know, I wake up, and it's Ryan Garcia versus Rolando Romero. "I guess Ryan didn't really know what was going on," Romero said. Both fighters are fierce competitors and will be going all out in the build-up to this fight. Neither is shy in front of the cameras, so expect plenty of hype leading up to fight night. Garcia, coming off a long layoff due to his suspension, will need to take this fight seriously and put on an impressive performance. If he's not fully prepared, Romero could catch him off guard. While Garcia is the favorite, Romero isn't an easy opponent, and both fighters know exactly what they're up against.
A month. At the time, he's 4 years older than me, right? So that means he's 21, I was 17, right? He going hard on me, right? After I stopped his little brother, right? To claim that he...
The trash talk has already begun, with Garcia taking to X to say, "Not surprised at Pitbull pulling out, but we get to fight some dog food in Raleigh." Expect the exchanges between these two fiery American boxers to escalate as fight night approaches. As for the matchup itself, it promises to be an action-packed showdown. Both fighters bring speed and power, setting the stage for an exciting clash. Romero is known for being in thrilling fights, and Garcia rarely disappoints when he steps into the ring. Their contrasting styles could make for an explosive battle that keeps fans on the edge of their seats.
Yeah. So you Pitbull in New York, Times Square.
Yeah,
right?
Times Square, yes.
Nice, man. What? I guess curious. How does the fight go in your opinion? I know you guys have been circling each other for a
Ryan Garcia ignited the war of words by confidently stating that he will face Isaac Cruz in his next fight after his return from suspension in May. However, he cannot afford to underestimate Rolando Romero, who has only suffered 2 losses in his career. The first came against Gervonta "Tank" Davis, who also knocked out Garcia, while the second defeat was at the hands of Isaac "Pitbull" Cruz, a setback that significantly derailed Romero's career.
Are you gonna walk around the whole fucking shit?
I'm not. But yeah, I mean, this is a fight that I feel like the fans wanted for a long time until he lost. So
Garcia understands that he's in for a tough challenge, as Rolando Romero is also known for his knockout power. However, unlike Isaac "Pitbull" Cruz, who has drawn comparisons to Mike Tyson for his durability, Romero's chin isn't as solid. Garcia, eager to remind fans of his own knockout ability, will look to unleash his devastating left hook. If Romero aggressively pushes for a knockout, he may leave himself open to Garcia's counterattacks, providing a bigger target. This fight will also serve as a crucial tune-up for Garcia, helping him shake off any ring rust ahead of a potential rematch with Devin Haney.
Got a lot of things ahead, but fight-wise, I either want to fight the 154-pound champion, Sebastian Fundora, or I want to fight Isaac Cruz.
Yes, in May, we're going to be fighting there. It's going to be another big fight, and I'm ready for it. Romero is still a great fighter. He may have lost before, but fans love him, and he's a big guy. The atmosphere in London was wild, with so many people meeting with Turki Alashik. It's crazy. The Garcia-Romero tripleheader happening in Times Square is just one part of a massive shift in boxing. Talks of a new boxing league involving UFC boss Dana White and the parent company of both UFC and WWE are making waves. On top of that, the trilogy fight between Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano will headline a huge Netflix event this summer, adding even more excitement to the sport.
He hasn't really made that many adjustments, to be honest. Still making a lot of the same mistakes, still kind of fighting the same. His chin actually looks...
However, when the WBA released its latest rankings update, both Garcia and Romero were suddenly positioned at number 2 and number 3 in the welterweight division, despite neither being ranked at 147 pounds just a month earlier. Romero wasn't even highly rated at 140 pounds before that. As of January, he was ranked number 8 in the junior welterweight division. That placement made sense, considering he lost his WBA title to Isaac Cruz in March 2024, and his only fight since then was a unanimous decision win over the unheralded and unranked Manuel James in September. Meanwhile, Garcia had been completely absent from the WBA rankings for the past year. His last ranking came in January 2024, when he was listed as the number 4 junior welterweight. Once Garcia signed on to challenge Devin Haney for the WBC title, the WBA removed him from its rankings. His continued absence was likely due to his suspension after testing positive for a performance-enhancing drug following his overturned win against Haney in April 2024. Now, Garcia and Romero's sudden return to the WBA rankings, especially at such high positions, is unfortunately not surprising. This kind of maneuvering has become common in boxing, particularly among the major sanctioning bodies. The WBA, in particular, has a history of questionable rankings and title decisions. If the winner of Garcia versus Romero goes on to face the victor of the co-main event between Haney and Jose Ramirez, or even the winner of Teofimo Lopez versus Arnold Barbosa on the undercard, the WBA stands to profit significantly. By simply introducing another unnecessary belt into the equation, the organization could collect over $1 million in sanctioning fees.
That's how we know we got it. If you're fucking lying. Let's go, lie.
That doesn't even account for the additional fees and expenses the WBA demands from fighters, promoters, and managers. The sport doesn't need these extra belts, and this fight certainly doesn't require a meaningless title to generate excitement. But the WBA continues to thrive by capitalizing on these manufactured titles. Gervonta Tank Davis, who recently fought to a draw against Lamont Roach, has shared the ring with both Garcia and Romero. Given his experience, his insight on who packs the heavier punch carries weight. In 2022, Davis maintained his undefeated record by stopping Romero in the 6th round of their New York clash.
Now look to the right, look to the right.
Hey, Ryan.
All right, good job. Thank you.
The following year, after 2 more fights, Davis once again showcased his power by stopping Garcia with a brutal body shot in one of the biggest boxing events of the year. Now, Garcia and Romero are set to collide on a massive stage in New York's Times Square, with Garcia aiming for a statement victory that could secure a highly anticipated rematch with Devin Haney, who is also featured on the same card. Heading into the fight, Garcia is the clear favorite. However, when asked to compare the punching power of both fighters, Davis didn't hesitate with his response. "I ain't going to lie, Raleigh hits hard. People have been sleeping on Raleigh," Davis told Fight Hype.
Gonna compare Cruz to a puncher like me. Romero here in the first round. One, I'm bigger than both of them. But in this fight, he's not looking.
He ain't got no chin on him, so Raleigh is getting caught. But Ree can hit, bro, like he can hit. He's the only person that I felt like when he swung. It felt like bricks were in his gloves, Davis added. Looking ahead, fans are hoping that if both Garcia and Haney win their fights in May, a highly anticipated rematch will take place later this year. Their first bout in April 2024 was surrounded by controversy. Originally set as a defense of Haney's WBC super lightweight world title, the fight took a turn when Garcia came in 3 pounds over the weight limit. making him ineligible to win the belt. Despite this, an agreement was reached and the fight proceeded, with Garcia dropping Haney 3 times en route to a decision victory. However, the result was later overturned to a no contest after Garcia twice tested positive for a banned substance during fight week.
Both of them.
Of the 7th round, can Romero survive? Big left hand.
He does the same shit over and over and over again. One over here, gets punched over here, gets punched over here.
And left hook, Romero takes the shot, still standing, referee intervenes.
Happy Easter.
With his year-long suspension up next month, Ryan Garcia returns to the ring against Rolando Romero on May 2nd. On the same card as Haney's first fight back from the bruising affair against Jose Ramirez. However, beating the 2 former champions is not the only obstacle in the way. As Garcia recently told the media, Haney must first stop any legal action. I said I'm not going to give you a rematch unless you drop that lawsuit, so we got to see if they hold to their word.
Over here, gets punched over here.
And left hook, Romero takes the shot, still standing, referee intervenes.
Happy Easter.
Haney had accused Garcia of committing battery, with the lawsuit stating that while Devin Haney agreed to participate in a prize fight against Garcia, he did not agree to engage in a bout against someone who had taken performance-enhancing substances. ESPN reported in January that the pair had asked the court to pause proceedings for 90 days due to a potential settlement, though Garcia's recent comments suggest there is still movement behind the scenes to be dealt with. And that's all for now. For the very best updates on news, moments, events, and actions in the world of boxing, stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to turn on notifications to get notified when we drop quality content like this. Until next time, peace out.